is only one amateur team left in the Scottish Cup this season, and I am in Perth to watch them play. They are not from Perth, but they are playing away to Jeanfield Swifts. What a name that is. And they are playing Cupar Hearts. What a name that is. Gogsy, he is from Cupar, and he's made a video about them and them winning the Amateur Cup. So qualifying for the Scottish Cup isn't really a given. There's not as many teams that qualify for as there is for like the FA Cup down in England. Obviously it's not a bigger country and stuff in footballing terms, but you have to win the Amateur Cup, or you have to win certain leagues if you're a small club to qualify for the Scottish Cup. And Cupar Hearts won the Amateur Cup last season, and so they qualified for the Scottish Cup. They've already won a round, and today they play in the second preliminary round against Jeanfield Swifts here in Perth. So I will see you at the ground very shortly. Non-league Saturdays are back. Come on.
Robbie Holden, I'm the manager of Jeanfield Swifts.
And so today is Cup action. We were just talking about it off camera there. Second preliminary round.
That's right.
You're currently, all the teams in it just now are non-league. From the next round it will still be non-league teams, Lowland League and Highland.
That's correct.
And then after that the league clubs come in. How big is it for a team like Jeanfield Swifts to have a run in this competition?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. There's obviously the financial reward that comes with it, and there's the experiences for all of us, for our players. You know, the dream of getting one of the big clubs in an away tie, perhaps going to one of the nice stadiums in the Premier League is it's a big incentive for us.
And you talk about having one of the big clubs. You couldn't play a smaller team, I don't think, technically, in terms of like where they are positioned in sort of the pyramid. I don't think the team you're playing today are in the pyramid. Are they the only amateur team left in it?
That's correct. So they've come in through the space that's available if you win the Amateur Scottish Cup. So on paper, yeah, they're an amateur side. I think they're operating well above that level. You know, they're a very strong side. Mm-hmm. Probably an East of Scotland level team, I'd say. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky tie, one that people expect you to win, but certainly a better team than perhaps their label would suggest.
Has it been hard like finding out about them? Do you know much about them? Have you played them before?
We haven't played them before, no, but we've done a bit of research on them. I actually know the manager. He played boys club with me about 26 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And
small world football, isn't it?
It is, and there's a player there who was at Arbroath in the Championship. He's now playing, so it kind of shows you the types of players that they've got there. Certainly not what you'd class as a traditional amateur team.
Jeanfield Swifts. There aren't many football clubs that I've ever visited that start with a J, let alone have a J in their name, especially in the UK. It's quite a rare thing. Today we're seeing an East of Scotland League team against an amateur team from Fife. Give this competition a few months' time and you'll have potentially Celtic and Rangers in the final or the semi-final or something like that at Hampden Park. How many massive games have we seen in this competition before? Hampden Park, different huge stadiums all around the country, but today we're seeing one in a stadium that looks like this.
Sean Simpson, manager of Cupar.
And so teams of your level don't necessarily qualify straight away for the Scottish Cup. How did you come to play in this competition this season?
So I think a few years ago the rules had changed with the pyramid, where there was an entry allowed from the Scottish Amateur Cup. The winners of the Scottish Amateur Cup were then allowed to go into the big Scottish Cup, as we like to call it. We managed to win the Scottish Cup last year at Hampden, and we knew going into the final that if we won it we would have, you know, a place in this year's Scottish Cup in the preliminary rounds, of course. But no, that's how we found out about it towards the end of last year, and it just became an added bonus to us on our journey to the Scottish Cup final last year.
And I see you're all taking it seriously, even the lads behind you there, the players turning up all suited and booted, which you don't see at this level a lot, obviously. Do they take it more seriously than like a league game. Obviously, you're playing in the same competition that in a few months' time Celtic and Rangers will be playing in as well.
To be honest, we're usually suited and booted for all our cup ties, so our League Cup, our Fife Cup and Scottish Cup. So we're usually, that's kind of tradition within the club. And obviously for the big occasion for the Scottish Cup, we want to look the part. We are an amateur side, but it's only as amateur as you make it. And we want to try and be as professional as we can, and if we can at least look the part, then I think that certainly helps.
And so speaking of being professional and looking the part, is there plans in place for Cupar Hearts to eventually move into the pyramid system, hopefully up the pyramid system as well?
Possibly one day. I mean, when I took over at the club, they were very proud of their their amateur status and their heritage. I think the club's been going for over 80 years, so I think they're very proud of that. Obviously, the dream for everybody is to win the Scottish Amateur Cup. I think Cupar Hearts as a club had been there 3 times before, but were unsuccessful. So to win it last year and get that under your belt is great. So perhaps maybe one day in the future. We've got a really good academy with us at the moment with AM Soccer, so we do have a lot of good players coming through. So you never know. Maybe one day in the future it could be
amazing, mate. I'll be looking out for you.
3-2.
3-2. Do you reckon, is he right?
Yeah. For me, I'll go for Jeanfield. 2-0.
So look at this, Cupar Hearts actually isn't too far away from where we are today. That's where we are in Perth. Look, and Edinburgh's down there, and look, Cupar Hearts is over here in Fife. But from the sounds of things, small kind of little village club here playing in the Scottish Cup. And let's have a look at some of the other teams who are playing in the Scottish Cup today. Yeah, look, preliminary round 2. We have Jeanfield Swifts against Cupar Hearts today. The only amateur team left in it there, the away team. But yeah, look, some of the other teams here, big non-league teams here in Scotland. We've got Darvel playing away to Glenafton. I believe that's an Ayrshire derby. We've got Tynecastle, we've seen before, playing against Hutchison Vale. We've got Three Rovers, who we've visited before, as well as like Pollock v Benburb. Look at that, a bit of a Glasgow derby there. Dunbar we've been to, Vale of Leithen we've been to, Fort William v Clydebank. Look at that, what an interesting game that is. Yeah, anyone who knows their non-league football in Scotland will know what a big competition this is and how huge it is for these clubs that are a lot bigger, but let alone like teams like Cupar Hearts who are yet to warm up, but have brought a lot of people with them today.
It's an experience for us. When we won the Scottish Amateur Cup, and going through the rounds and getting to go to Hampden, obviously we took a huge support with us there.
Yep.
But just this, it's an experience. Will we get it again? We don't know. Hence the wigs. We've got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
This is it.
I was going to say.
It's a one-in-one experience.
This game's on today at 12:30.
Yeah.
Because
Saints
are on
at 3.
Yeah. The big team in Perth.
Yeah.
Do you think that smaller clubs should start doing that and aligning their games with bigger clubs so that they can maybe get more fans in and start
I
to bring...
hope so, and I think that's why Jeanfield's done it, because I think they're hoping they can get people down here at 12:30, and then it's still enough time for them to get to McDermott for 3.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely think, in Perth, I think they are very loyal, fans that support like St Johnstone. I think they will come down to support their local teams and things like that. So yeah, hopefully get a big crowd.
Right, so here's the big question for you then. You're a Saints fan.
Yeah.
They're playing up the road today.
Yeah.
Who would you rather won today, Cupar Hearts or St Johnstone?
I know what he'd say.
Cupar Hearts!
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Cupar.
Yeah, it's got to
Because
be
this
on
is
it.
an
Yeah,
experience.
of course.
So we've got Jeanfield Swifts v Cupar Hearts at 12:30, and then St Johnstone v Dundee
Yeah.
up at McDermott at 3 o'clock.
And Gogsy, everyone will know who you are. You're a famous YouTuber here in Scotland.
Yes. The biggest weirdo who supports about 5 or 6 different clubs.
Mate, you've got to support the Scottish teams as and when you can.
Of course.
But funnily enough, you're from Cupar.
Yes. Grew up in Cupar for 20 years.
And they won the Amateur Cup last season, which a team of that size, a team of that level wouldn't necessarily be in the Scottish Cup, which is what we're in here today.
Yes.
How big was it? How big was the final?
It was
at the end of
a
last
huge
season?
occasion. It was Cupar Hearts' 4th attempt over the years to actually go and win the competition at Hampden.
At Hampden
And
as well. It's huge for an amateur team to play at Hampden.
absolutely mental, and it was a great occasion, and it was great to go and document it. And the access I got from the club fantastic, and
Yeah.
I don't actually think I've ever had that much support from a football club to actually go and do a project such as that.
We're doing a very silly thing. We're at Jeanfield Cupar Hearts just now, and then we're going across to Fort William Clydebank at 7:30, because why not?
Two Scottish Cup games today, and sort of two iconic games. You've got an amateur team that you're seeing here today, and then you're going up to Fort William for a game. But which one are you most looking forward to?
This one at the moment. It's great to see teams that will never really play each other. It's always good to see how good the amateur champions actually are. Jeanfield are doing really, really well. They're top of the East Premier.
Yep.
But Cupar Hearts might well match them with a fantastic result down at Abbeyvale, who are tier 6 as well in the last round. So should be a really good game.
The defence was slow to actually react to the through ball. The back heel sort of caught us off guard.
It's a different level, isn't it?
I mean, you can already see the difference in levels, like between like junior and amateur level, if you want to call it that. I mean, the pace of the boy to actually get to the ball.
The best barman in non-league. The best hospitality here in Scotland, as per usual.
3-0.
3-0 and 3-0. Yeah, really solid pies, I would say, lads. If you're going to get one.
3-2.
3-2.
2-1.
2-1.
1-0.
1-0. No more goals then. Okay. 2-1 and.
2-0.
Oh, what? Oh, great strike. It's against an amateur team, but no professional goalkeeper in the world would have saved that one. And the second half has started behind me, as you can see. I'm actually genuinely shocked, in a good way, about how many Cupar Hearts fans there are. It looks like there's just like a load of, I was saying this to a few of the lads around behind the goal there, just looks like there's a load of Burnley fans here, or West Ham or Villa or something. The amount of claret and blue here is absolutely mad. For an amateur team to bring this many fans, I know it's the Scottish Cup and it's a big occasion, but by the sounds of things, they took thousands to Hampden for the Amateur Cup final.
Nathan, that one was onside by the way. He was. We've got
a Celtic fan, an Aberdeen fan and a St Johnstone fan. A little bit of a strange mix, but what brings you to see Jeanfield play today though?
local team and play for the under-20s as well.
Oh, you play for the under-20s? So it won't be long until you're playing here in the
hopefully
Scottish Cup soon, yeah, I'm sure. There's been a few penalty calls for both teams. Oh, it's... Oh!
Why would I put it up if there's no offside? You're on the floor! You're on the floor playing him on!
He knows he's right here.
I love the line though, he's so sure, isn't he? He's just like, he knows exactly what's going on, he'll just tell him.
Got to be though.
Yeah.
You're hesitant then.
The game sort of petered out a little bit. Second half, not a huge amount's happened, been quite a scrappy game, but as Cupar Hearts supporters, how's the day been?
Well, it's a good occasion. It's never going to be easy playing against a team essentially 4 tiers above Cupar Hearts. If they were in the pyramid, that is.
So they're technically 4 tiers above, but really Cupar Hearts aren't even in the same league
they're
structure.
Not even in the pyramid.
No.
So it was always going to be a difficult game.
My name's Richie Lawson, I'm a striker for Cupar Hearts.
Mate, you played well today, put in a good shift against a good side.
Anyway, but tired, legs are sore now. So.
And so you're the only amateur team left. You qualified for the Scottish Cup. You're out now, sadly, sorry to say, but you were, as of today, the only amateur team left. How does it feel for you as an amateur player to be playing in the same competition that Rangers, Celtic, Aberdeen, Hibs, Hearts will come into in a few months' time?
It's a good feeling. It's good for the town, and we sort of deserve to be here. Like obviously winning the Scottish Amateur Cup, and it's just a good experience. So we come try and do it again next year. Hopefully we can win this Amateur Cup and come back again next year and do ourselves a bit better. So
how was it playing at Hampden then, as a player in that big occasion?
It was loud, although there was only like 3,000 players or something. 3,000 fans, sorry. Couldn't hear anything. Sort of really loud.
Yeah.
So it's hard to hear your teammates and that. But
of course.
It was a great experience, and obviously getting the win there, I got man of the match as well. So
amazing.
It was a good feeling.
We spoke earlier today.
We did.
Things were a little bit more optimistic then. You've lost now.
Yes.
But you must be so proud of seeing your village team compete in the Scottish Cup.
Do you know what? We've come up against a very, very strong Jeanfield team, and I think we matched them.
Yeah.
At times, I think we probably could have done a little bit, but actually, I thought we were excellent today. Considering the gulfing difference between the two teams, I
think
thought
so.
3-0.
I think you did so well.
That's not a bad result, is it?
Yeah,
really?
of course. So yeah, there we have it. Non-league football at its finest. We have like a well-established non-league club in the Pyramid against literally an amateur team who, by the sounds of things, play in more of like a public, open playing field. They don't have an enclosed ground, Cupar Hearts, the away team today. So a really interesting story. I hope you've enjoyed it. Great to be back in Scotland after being on the road, which for so long over the last couple of months, going here, there and everywhere. But yeah, great to be back. I will leave some videos on screen. If you could click on one to carry on watching, that is the best way that you can help me. If you like these videos, please just watch another one. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much and goodbye.